In this video, we discuss why the most powerful tool in your retirement toolkit is not how much you saved. Coming up next on Holy Schmidt.
Holy Schmidt!
I was recently reading a book for the Holy Schmidt book club called Money, the True Story of a Made-Up Thing. It's an entertaining look at the history of money. For anyone that has struggled with money, it's a wonderful companion. It won't give you better returns on your investments, but it will certainly make you feel good. But, and this is important, it's not everything in the future, and one could argue beyond a certain minimum amount, the amount that you have in savings doesn't add to your enjoyment in retirement. I bring this up because we spend a lot of time planning and saving for retirement, investing, looking at different asset classes and places to put our funds. And this is important. You need to have funds in the future so that your way is paved for a comfortable future. But it's not the be-all and end-all in retirement. And the fact is, beyond a certain amount, the additional funds don't really add any additional enjoyment to your retirement. Let me explain. In my last video, I discussed what is called the law of marginal utility. Basically, big words for a very simple concept. Beyond a certain amount, every dollar you spent upgrading whatever it is you're spending your money on does not provide an equal amount of enjoyment. An $80,000 luxury automobile is not twice as safe and twice as luxurious as a $40,000 American luxury automobile. And a $160,000 British luxury automobile isn't 4 times as safe and luxurious as the American model. So if money is not the only center of the universe when it comes to retirement, what else is there? Well, as it turns out, time management is equally as important, if not more important, in most circumstances. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average American spends 8.8 hours per day working. Add to that commute time, commitments with family, etc., and that number could easily reach 12 hours, maybe even 13 or 14 hours per day. This means at the end of the day, the average person is lucky to have 1 or 2 hours, maybe 3 hours of their own time, and they usually are just so exhausted that they spend that time watching television. Now, retirement comes along and there is no work, there is no commute, and raising a family is non-existent. There are family obligations, of course, but these revolve around things like Sunday night dinners, grandchildren's birthday parties, and family reunions. So for the first time in your life, you have very little, if no, time demands. Well, if there are no time demands, what do people do with their time? This is where it gets interesting, and this is why many people have vastly different experiences in their retirement. For many people, the go-to move is to shop. Why? Because shopping gives people temporary hits of endorphins and dopamine. Endorphins take pain away, take stress away, and dopamine makes you feel good. By the way, this is where the term shopaholic comes in. And if you shop online, you get it twice. Once when you place the order, and once when the package arrives, reinforcing the cycle to do over again. This is how many people get into financial trouble. They buy things because it makes them feel good, takes away the stress, not because they actually need what they're buying. Let me ask you if this sounds like someone you know, maybe someone you might even know personally. You wake up and you know you need to go to the hardware store. You don't know why, but you know that there's a problem in the house that needs to be solved somewhere. You just need to find that problem. You go into the garage and you look around. You look at your tool chest, everything looks fine there. You look at your lawnmower, it's pretty old, but it works really well, so probably no need to replace it yet, but potentially in the future, but nothing in the garage, so you keep looking. You look at your fireplace and you look at your tools in your fireplace, and yes, there are still 3 tools. The poker, the shovel, and the long tongs. They still are there, so you don't need any of those. Just as you're ready to give up, you go to the refrigerator to get some milk, and you notice that the refrigerator light bulb is burnt out. That's all you needed. 20 minutes later, you're in the car. 30 minutes later, you're at the hardware store. You found the light bulb within the first 2 minutes, but you also picked up a couple of gallons of paint because you remembered while you were there that in the bedroom there were some cracks in the paint and they needed to be fixed. You also pick up a 9-volt battery because you can always use a 9-volt battery at some point, and you begin to rethink the lawnmower situation. It really does need to be replaced soon, so you pick up one now before it goes out. You never know when you might be in an emergency lawn cutting situation and you just can't get a hold of a lawnmower. You get home, you replace the light bulb, put the paint on the shelf, put your lawnmower in the garage, and give the old lawnmower to the neighbor because they need one and you have one. The 9-volt battery finds its way to the back of the drawer, never to be seen again, and the paint never gets used because in about 6 months, you're going to hire someone to paint your entire house inside and out. So that $2 refrigerator light bulb cost you about $400. But what if, instead of shopping, you found a more constructive way to create the endorphins? You took a class at the local community college on how to read the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal. You learned how to play cards or a new card game, and you got good enough so that it became a major part of your social activities. And you began to start exercising, creating even more endorphins. And let's say instead of going out and buying new supplies, you spent a lot of time getting your house thoroughly organized. Your closet, your drawers, your office, everything. Along the way, you found a few 9-volt batteries and several $100s worth of things that you would have had to go out and buy at some point anyway. Finally, what if a retiree learned to cook instead of going out to dinner? They learned to repaint the room themselves instead of hiring someone else to do it. And what if they spent time talking to friends and family instead of surfing the net on Amazon.com or one of the other shopping websites? The endorphins and the dopamine would be flowing, and the bottom line is you would save a lot of money, and in the process, you would have even more fun than you're having now. So the bottom line is this: in order to have a wonderful lifestyle, you don't need to have a lavish one. You need to have a simple one and plan out every single day. So plan every day, follow your plan every day, and if you do this, your spending will go down and your level of enjoyment in retirement will go way up. If you like this video, please make sure you click subscribe and turn on notifications so that you get alerted the next time I post a video. I post about twice a week. This is Geoff Schmidt. Thanks for watching.